Restoring Men in History. This is for Restore Men. Loneliness, Part 2. We hope some of these will help you.
Number 10, and here's a big one we've talked about: stop your negative thought cycles. Number 10, stop your negative thought cycles. We might repeatedly think about what we could have done differently to prevent ourselves from feeling so alone. I just talked to that friend Tuesday night. He's talking about, I can't figure out, should have been married, should have children, I'm alone now in the house, right? Now he's got a good life. You're supposed to be this, you're supposed to do this. There's no supposed to be's. You are where you're at. Now you take action to get what you want. So what do? You ask yourself questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? What do I want? Why do I want it? And then write down on a piece of paper how you're going to get it. If you're feeling lonely, and you should have, could have, or whatever, or you're blaming yourself, or you get into negative self-talk, none of that's going to help. Supposed to be making big films, or supposed to be doing this, whatever it is, supposed to have children. Maybe you're exactly again where you're supposed to be to learn the lessons you need to learn to go forward. So should have been, We ruminate on the events or people or causes because we mistakenly believe that thinking about our loneliness over and over again will help us solve it. Unfortunately, it does us no good to get caught up in our thoughts instead of taking the actions we need. We have to focus on that here. You men, take action. We focus on the men taking action here. Restore Men, take action. And I've heard this from people. Taking action many times will help many of you. You are in control, right? Who's in control of you taking action? You are. That's something that you can be pleased with because you're in control of taking action. You can take action. Today, when you finish this video, if you're lonely, you can take action. You can fix it. To put it into these negative thought cycles, go back to the piece, we need to take action to do something that stops these thoughts. That's what we just talked about. So, what can you do that works for you? Identify it, right? Figure out what makes me lonely. Where am I at when I'm lonely? What makes me happy, fulfilled, joyful? Where am I at? Do more of this and less of this, right? You control it. You can identify it. You got to ask yourself questions, right? Ask yourself smart questions. What makes me feel lonely? What makes me feel great and connected? And do more of this and less of this, right? Call a friend to meet for a cigar, or call a friend to meet for dinner. 11. Generate, and I like this one, and a guy Tuesday night mentioned this too. Not in these particular terms, but in these similar. Generate a sense of awe. Now, the guy I was talking to Tuesday night said when he goes to church in these Catholic cathedrals, he sees the beauty and feels better. Now, I love that too. I love walking around downtowns and seeing the old churches. And there's something for me that old churches do. I like walking inside old churches. I like seeing them on the outside, taking pictures of them. Several downtowns, I just walk for the old buildings. And I love the old buildings and old architecture. And that's a sense of awe for me, how long they've stood and how beautiful and traditional they look. And that can raise your joy, right? And this guy Tuesday said just going into the Catholic service in the grand environment made him feel better. That happens for me too when I just walk around downtowns and see old churches. Something about old churches in small towns that are old and downtowns always raise my spirits. So what is it for you? That's the key. If you like our mission, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Number 12, spend money on experiences. If we're spending all our money on things, we won't have the cash to spend money on experiences with others. She focused on experiences here. And it turns out that spending money on experiences is the way for our mental health. So we're still focused on men's health. And that's one way, she says. So get creative and think about what you want to do with others. All right? What group activities might make you feel less lonely? So you need to ask yourself questions and identify. 13, pay attention to the things that matter. How do we expect to improve our loneliness when we don't know what causes it? Well, I kind of just talked about that. It's hard. So pay attention to the present moment. What are the experiences that make you feel lonely? What are the experiences that make you feel connected? All right, we did that kind of. Identifying the moments can help you reduce loneliness because you can limit your engagement. We talked about this. Let's go to 14. Create a vision board. Now, I'm accustomed to vision boards. A lot of people make them for more material things, and they put up a house, a boat, what a car that they've wanted all their life, convertible or a sports car or whatever it is, these guys. But she talks about this. A big chunk of her vision board, and I guess she also has the material possessions, you have both, is about connecting, building community, networking, spending time with family, and the like. Sometimes I have a hard time sticking to it. So anyway, she does this vision board. So you can do that too. And it might be helpful to list or plan what you'll do. So if you see it and it's a reminder and you have this board up and you say, I'm going to call John for a cigar every 2 weeks, or this person once a month. You're going to be in a men's group this day, and you put that on the vision board. I'm going to be in a men's group. You're going to find one and get in it. That could be what you need to do to combat loneliness, right? These are solutions to combat loneliness. Pick the ones that work for you. 15, tend to your network, right? Are you keeping up with your friends? Are you reaching out to them or waiting for them to reach out on you? And I find this often. So reach out to people, stay connected. That's up to you. Who's that up to again? You. Schedule the time. You schedule the time. Who's it up to? You. Aim to schedule at least one social hour per week, a coffee, day, lunch, happy hour. Okay. Who knows? Maybe an old friendship can be reignited. Okay, it's up to you. You got to reach out and call. We're men. We take action. Do it. 16. Join an online group of like-minded people. So we talk constantly about being around like-minded people. We think this is incredibly valuable for men. So you can find it in politics, history, whatever group you want to be in. She's talking about finding an online group. Now look, I would prefer you be in an in-person group. If you can't find an in-person group, I guess you can do an online group, which is fine. We have some great online groups too, and they're very intellectual, and they have a lot of camaraderie. We do Beverly Hills that way every month. They get together in a location, and then I zoom in, and it's fantastic for me as well. And we've done it where we're all online. So you can join an online group in politics, history, or whatever you want to join. And it'll make you feel more connected. I've done it. It works. 17, volunteer. So you can volunteer somewhere and experience people and meet new people. Connect with new people by volunteering. You're also helping, right, if you do the right volunteering, right? 18, be kind to yourself, be nice to yourself. It's important to practice self-compassion. When you fail at things, remember everyone fails, and this is important. Hey, listen, guys. All of us are going to fail at something. All of us are imperfect. But who gets back up? And who keeps going? No need to bully yourself, put yourself down, feel guilty, say, I should have been here, should have done this, should have, would have, could have. Should have, would have, could have, doesn't matter. It's what you do today going forward. So let's wrap this up. What can you do to fix this? Number 1, get in a men's group. Number 2, find friends. Who's it on? Who's going to have to take the action to do it? You are. It's up to you to take action. Identify it. Acknowledge it. When you're with a friend, if you're experiencing loneliness, be open and honest enough to tell that friend so he can help you. Right? You got to acknowledge it. You got to know it. Ask yourself questions. What makes me lonely? What do I not want to do anymore? What makes me feel connected? What makes me joyful? What makes me feel less lonely? You got to identify it. You're a man. And then take action. Whose job it is to pick up the phone and call somebody, them or you? You got to pick up the phone and call somebody. Text them. Say, let's get together. Let's have a cigar. All right? Have deep conversations. Have deep friendships. If you like this message, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Appreciate you.